All right, then once we go live here, we go live on here first. All right, give me 1 second, guys. We're going to be talking about investment here soon. I just want to get this up and running first. All right, let's get this up and running. Okay, now we are up and running. All right, guys, this is Khalid Nathan Aleem, the Real Estate Bull, and welcome to the Real Estate Bulls Investors Academy. So, what we do here is this is information that gurus are making y'all pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for, okay, for their course. What I'm going to do is talk about how does one become an investor in real estate. Now, I'm starting from the beginning, okay? So this is for all my beginners, all right? So, we've went over 4 chapters already. And if you want access to that, just go to my YouTube. If you go www.followkhalid.com, then you can get access to all that. Okay. So we are going to start from chapter 5. Okay. We're going to start from chapter 5. So let's get into it. All right. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Yep, we got it. All right. So again, this is the Real Estate Bulls Investment Academy. No fluff, all action, live training. This happens every Friday at 11 o'clock. Every Friday at 11 o'clock, I come to you guys and I give y'all the game as far as investing in real estate. So again, this happens every Friday at 11 o'clock. And if you want to see the other episodes, just go to www.followkhalid.com and you can check out those episodes. Okay. If you want to contact me personally, that's cool. 267-930-1249. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate in Philadelphia or the surrounding counties, I got you. And if you're somewhere else and you need a trustworthy real estate agent in your city, then let me know. I got a network that expands the globe. Okay. So let's jump right into it. So I want to do a quick recap of what we went over so far. Okay. Number one, whenever you're looking to invest, you got to make the determination, the decision that I want to invest in real estate. After you do that, you got to pick a strategy. What's your strategy? Am I going to buy and hold or am I going to fix and flip? You got to choose one of these strategies. Okay. You also need to pick a location. Where do you want to invest in? A lot of people pick their backyard. That's fine. Okay. But you have to pick a location. Where are you going to buy these homes at? A lot of times people pick their backyard because they know that. They know that area. And you probably have information, inside information on that area that other people don't have. For some people, it's too noisy or it's too crowded or it's too expensive in your area. For example, somebody might live in Las Vegas or not Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and the average house is $1 million. So that's a little bit harder than maybe the Midwest. Okay. So you got to pick a location. Also, you got to find the money. You got to find the money. Where's your money going to come from? Is it going to come from cash? Is it going to come from hard money? Are you going to get a loan? Are you going to get an investment loan? Or are you going to house hack? Are you going to house hack meaning what? Meaning that you live in one unit and you rent out the other units for multifamily. Okay. And you also need to analyze like a pro. And I went over 3 really easy analysis numbers to go by last time. Okay. So that was chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to hop into chapter 5. And again, guys, these are quick hitters. I'm not trying to be here all day. I'm not trying to have y'all here all day. Okay. These are quick hitting lessons in investing. Okay. So next is chapter 5. Okay. You made an offer. Now what? So you made an offer. You've gone around with your real estate agent and you found the property. You guys have random numbers and it says to move forward. Now you want to make an offer. So you make an offer and what happens? Wow, they accepted your offer. Now what? Now what? They've accepted your offer. Now, the first thing that usually happens is there's an earnest money deposit that needs to be put down. That earnest money deposit is not a bonus to the seller. Okay. What that is that's money that you're putting down to say what that I'm serious about this transaction. Because if there was no earnest money deposit, then buyers could just go around and just hold up people's contract, basically waste people's times because they wouldn't have any skin in the game. An earnest money deposit is skin in the game that you're giving the seller, and it's like, hey, hold this, and if we get to the end, then this money gets applied towards my closing costs. Okay. Also, you can have a due diligence period. All right. A due diligence period means there's a certain amount of time that you have to do your due diligence. So you'll get a home inspection, and we'll talk about a home inspection on the next slide. But you'll get a home inspection, and then they'll come back with a report, so on and so forth. But the due diligence time and everything in real estate is what is negotiable. Okay. So to have a due diligence time, just think about it. It's giving you time to back out the contract. Okay. So if you're in a bidding war with somebody else, then you may say, well, I don't want a due diligence period. I just want to take the property as it is. Okay. But one of the tools that investors use to kind of check out the property to make sure that they really want to move forward is they use this due diligence time. And this due diligence time is a time for you to do whatever you want to do and still back out of the property. Okay. Now, when you're buying a house, for example, it's usually 10 days, okay, on average. But if you're an investor, it may not be that long. It may be 2 days, it may be 3 days, it may be one day. Okay. So there's a due diligence period that you can have when you get under contract. Also, usually in a normal contract, there's contingencies. Contingencies mean what? You can back out of the contract. There's a ways to get out the contract. Usually there are three contingencies within a normal contract. And I'm saying a normal because each deal is different. Each deal is different. Okay. But right now, I'm only talking to investors. So, one contingency is the inspection contingency. What that means is that if you write or your real estate agent writes in the contract, okay, we have 5 days to inspect the property, and if we don't like it, we can back out. That's a contingency. Okay, that's contingency number one. Contingency number two in a normal contract is the mortgage contingency. So if you are getting a mortgage and you get turned down for that mortgage for a reason that's not because of you, and you get turned down, then you're able to back out the contract. And also the appraisal contingency. So again, if you are getting a loan for this investment property, and you go and you say, oh, okay, you go into mortgage underwriting. Okay. The mortgage underwriter, what they're going to do is they're going to send a loan officer. They're going to send a loan officer out, and that loan officer, not going to send him out. Excuse me. The loan officer, what they do is they send out the appraisal. Okay, so they send out an appraiser, and the appraiser goes out and he gives his educated opinion on what he thinks that property costs. And we're going to get into that more, so I'm not going to belabor it right now. The contingencies are inspections, mortgage, and appraisal. All right, so let's move on. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the home inspection. Okay, why does this matter? All right, a home inspection uncovers hidden issues that affect profitability and safety, critical step for protecting your investment. You want to know what's in the property. Now, when a person does a home inspection, he's not going through the walls, okay? He's not going through the walls, but everything that's exposed, he's looking at, and he's looking for clues as far as, okay, there may be something wrong here, or there may be something wrong there. Okay, so that's what a home inspector is going into. He's a professional, okay, not your father or maybe not your husband. Okay, he's a professional who's going to go. This is his job. He's certified to look for issues. Now, I'm saying that because he's going to give you a bunch of issues. It doesn't mean you're getting a lemon. It's just you're just buying this property with your eyes wide open. Okay. Now, costs roughly around $525, but you can save thousands in the future repairs. Okay. Smart money spend up front. So, smart money is paid up front. What does that mean? That being cheap costs you a lot. Being cheap is very expensive when you're investing in homes. Being cheap is very expensive, very expensive. Okay. Now, this inspection usually costs around $500 to $600. That's for the home inspection. You can also get termite inspection, and you can also get radon inspection also. And there's some other ones that you can get also, like a sewer scope. So there are a bunch of inspections that you get. But what people usually get is they usually get the home inspection, they usually get the radon inspection, and they usually get the termite inspection when they're buying a home. Okay. If you're buying a home that you're going to totally rip apart, like down to the studs, then you may not want to get a home inspection. Okay. But if it's something that you're just kind of, okay, you're going to buy and hold, and you're just putting lipstick on a pig, as they say, meaning paint and carpet, then you may want to get a home inspection so you kind of know, okay, what's the electric, is the roof okay, so on and so forth. Okay. So it says negotiate credits, request repairs, and or walk away completely. You maintain full control of your process. Okay. So this is what I always say: before you buy the home, the seller has all the control. But once you go under contract, now the buyer has all the control. Okay. So you have options when you do the inspection, and if you see something that you don't like, you can bail out. You can bail out within a certain time. Okay. So you also, what you can do is you can ask for repairs. You can go to the seller and say, hey, this is a list of things that I saw that the inspector saw was incorrect. Okay, I want this fixed, this fixed, this fixed, and this fixed. Okay. And they're going to come back, and the seller is either going to fix all of the things, fix some of the things, or fix none of the things. So you can negotiate repairs. You can also negotiate, no, I'm sorry, you can negotiate repairs, but you can also negotiate credits. What does that mean? For example, the roof might be what do they call it? Alligator spots on it, where it looks like alligator skin. Or it could be leaking. And you can say, okay, I want this fixed. And then they could come back and say, well, we don't want to fix it, but what we will do is we'll give you $5,000. We'll give you a $5,000 credit. That's what we can do. Okay. But you maintain control. You maintain control of the process when you're still in this due diligence phase. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Now, the home appraisal. So, as I was speaking about earlier, the lender is going to get a home appraisal. So, if you're not buying cash, if you're buying hard money, or if you're buying through a bank or a regular FHA loan or a conventional loan, then what's going to happen is the lender is going to order a home appraisal. So an appraiser is going to go out and say this home is worth this amount. Okay. So again, the purpose is to ensure the bank isn't lending you more than the home is actually worth. So if, for example, if the home costs $100,000, okay, and they do an appraisal, the bank is only going to give you what it appraises for. So, for example, if the house appraises for $50,000, okay, that's all the bank is going to give you is that. They're not going to give you the $100,000. So there might be a difference between the price that you guys agreed upon and the price that the home is actually worth. Okay. So when you're buying a home, whether you're buying an investment home or if you're buying a regular home, you won't overpay. And I'm saying that you won't overpay because there's a mechanism in here where the bank is only going to give you how much the home is worth. Okay. Also, trigger, this is ordered once you're under contract and getting your loan through your lender. If the appraisal is too low, financing may fall through completely. So if the appraisal comes in low with negotiation, you're basically at square one. What does that mean? That means is that through this process, You put in the offer, they accept the offer, you put the earnest money deposit down, and now you're going through mortgage underwriting. And you're doing inspections also. So you do the inspection, you get past that part, and now you're in mortgage underwriting. What that means is that the mortgage company is looking at all your information over again. They're asking you for new information, and then what will happen is when you come back, they'll say, okay, we're done this. The last part is we need to send an appraiser out. They send the appraiser out. He does an appraisal. And in our situation, like I said, you agreed to buy this investment property for $100,000. If it comes back that's only worth $50,000, now there's three things that can happen. Okay, three things. Number one is that the buyer can bring that extra $50,000 to closing. That can happen. Or on the flip side, the seller can bring the price down to $50,000 from $100,000 to $50,000. Okay. That can happen too. And what can happen also is in the middle, meaning the seller brings down the price a little bit and the buyer brings some cash. Okay. So in this particular situation, um, we agreed to pay 100,000. It's only worth 50,000 now, but we still want the property. Then what could happen is that they could lower the price to 75,000, and we could bring $25,000 more. Okay. Or somewhere in the middle. Okay. But the home appraisal is basically the market value, is what the market value is according to the appraiser. Okay. Let's move on. Certified occupancy inspection. Now, this depends on the county. Okay. This is a UNO cert. This depends on the county. For example, in Philadelphia, to get this certificate of occupancy, you just have to go online and there can't be no violations on the property. So Philadelphia doesn't go into the property. Philadelphia just looks and see if there's any violations. If there are violations on there, then you got to clear them, okay, to actually get this. Uh, in Upper Darby, for example, it used to be where they would just look at the sidewalk, okay? They would just look at the sidewalk, and if your sidewalk was busted, then what they would do is make you fix the sidewalk. I don't know where they came up with that, but you need to fix the sidewalk. Well, starting 2025, now they're going inside the house also. Now they're going in, and that's how a lot of counties around Philadelphia do. Is in order for you to get the certificate of occupancy, what they do is they go inside the house, and the county or the township does their own inspection. They do their own inspection, and they come back and say, okay, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed, and this needs to be fixed in order for us to sign off on this certificate of occupancy. Okay, it says legal requirement necessary for legally renting out the property to tenants, non-negotiable steps for investor inspection process. So again, a township inspector will come out and make sure that the safety and code and everything is copacetic. Okay. Pro tip: contact the municipality early to schedule in advance. Avoid last minute delays and complication. This is right. You don't want to contact them at the last minute because they move on their own time. Full stop. They move on their own time. So if you try to do it like a day before, they're gonna be like, listen, our schedule is out like 2 weeks. So when you feel comfortable in the process, you want to schedule this, or the seller wants to schedule this. And as the buyer, you need to be on top of this. Because if the seller drags his feet, then that's gonna drag your whole process. That's gonna drag your whole process, okay? And next is home insurance. Home insurance, usually when you're buying a home through a title company, they're going to make you get home insurance, or the mortgage is going to make you get home insurance. You should shop around. Definitely shop around. The rule of thumb is usually try to get it with the same company that you got your car insurance through, so you can get a discount. But you want to shop around because not every home insurance company is the same. Okay. And then next is closing date. Closing date is really a formality. It's if you do everything during the step by step by step by step, closing date is really a formality. Okay. You bring the paperwork, you bring the funds, and you officially become an owner of this investment property. Okay. Um, your lawyer will walk through every. So in Philadelphia, it's not a lawyer. Okay. What happened is the title company will walk through each document with you. Okay. So you don't have to be a lawyer to understand these documents. The title company person is going to break down every document to you. Okay. So this is your first investment property. Congratulations. Awesome. So hopefully this is going to be one of many. So, if you're ready to start your real estate journey, again, go to followkhalid.com. Go to www.followkhalid.com and set a one-on-one appointment with me. Or you can call me at 267-930-1249. And so we can get you to start getting that first property, whether that's to flip or whether that's a buy and hold. Okay. I'm ready to be a part of your next investment success. All right. Again, y'all, this is Khalid Nathan Aleem, the real estate boy. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I got you. All right.